All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and I am live streaming. And of course, I'm running a little late this evening. Went out to go get some groceries and just got really held up at the store. But that's okay. I'm here. Now, give me just a quick second. I need to send out some invites to some people. We'll see who's able to join. Let's see here. Got to go to the mail portion. Go to the Twitters. Pick the group of people I want to send it to. Oh, damn, I sent it to Kodiak. I didn't mean to do that. Crap. Just kidding. We'll get D in there too. And let's send a personal invite to Todd and Avery and see if they can join. So we can talk about comics and a whole bunch of other stuff tonight. And invite sent. All right, excellent. All right, people. I am happy. Happy. Let's close this down. And I'm going to tell you guys what I'm working on this evening. Actually, I had a stack of comic boards around here that I was using for scratch paper. Let me see if I can find where I threw them. Oh, they're over here. They're on my left side. All right. So like I said, I had, whenever I get new comics and they're in old bags and boards, I always throw out the bags and boards. And lately I said, let me go ahead and keep the boards. That way I can use them for, sketching. And I got a whole stack sitting here next to me. Give me another second. I need to change the camera settings. It keeps auto-focusing, and that's a pain in the butt. Don't want to autofocus while I'm in the middle of drawing, Go to advanced setting and hit undo autofocus. All right, excellent. Cool. Oh, and of course, all right, hold on. I got to switch cameras. For some reason, every time I do that, it freezes the camera. I don't know why. And just switching the camera back and forth fixes the problem. So, all right. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about an idea that I'm working on. I had recently been on YouTube. I'm not sure if it's a company or if it's a person or what it is, but somebody has been, and most likely it was from years and years ago, and these are just clips that are out there. But people had put out clips of the Street Fighter 2 movie, the anime movie that was made many moons ago. And I saw some clips recently and I was watching it, and just the movie, I remember having fond memories of the movie simply because I grew up with those characters and they were great. You got Chun-Li and Vega and Dalsim and E Honda and just a whole bunch of really cool characters, street fighters. And it kind of inspired me last night to draw a Street Fighter type character. I was making up Chun-Li, of course, is my all-time favorite character from that series. Here's Avery. Let me bring him in real quick. What up, man?
What's up?
Not much. I just got an idea and I'm running with it.
Oh, okay.
I was explaining kind of where I got the inspiration for. I was watching some clips, movie clips of the Street Fighter 2 anime movie that was made.
I think they've made multiple ones now.
Oh, this was the one that was back when we were in high school.
Okay. That one was pretty dope.
Oh, yeah.
The animation was anyway.
Yeah. Well, the story was kind of stupid, but yeah, you're right. And I'd been watching some clips of that. Somebody had taken clips out of some of the fight scenes, and it kind of inspired me to draw this Street Fighter looking Catwoman. And then I came up with another idea, and then another idea, and
another idea,
and another idea,
and another idea.
Yep. So that's what I'm going to be working on this coming week. I'll go into more detail a little bit, but So what's new and happening? Anything good? What do you think of the craziness in this comic book industry, huh?
I don't know, man. I'm not paying it. I haven't been paying a lot of attention. I've been,
Oh, Zach made a really good video talking about this. Oh gosh, what is it? The charity that all the comic book industry people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same charity that Jim Lee was doing, and he did a video where he was looking into some of the financials and all, and only about less than 38% of the actual donations actually go to people in need. Mm-hmm. So it's like for every dollar, only 40 cents, less than 40 cents is actually going to go to anybody. But the company that does it is the book industry. It's not comic book industry, it's the book industry. And he was looking over their financials for, I guess it was last year or whatever, and they gave to people who, like employees of Borders, mm-hmm. and so forth. So it's not specific to the comic book world at all. I
need to start my own charity.
Well, that's exactly what I'm planning on doing.
Yeah,
because I know some local comic book stores that could use a little bit of charity.
Dude, no, I'm talking about for me. Dude, hey, guess what, man? I'm not even on the schedule next week.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that sucks.
The guy that mops the floors and scrubs the toilets and sanitizes everything is out of work during a pandemic.
Well, obviously, you're non-essential.
Exactly. I guess they don't need to sterilize shit or wipe shit down.
That's the problem with doing such a great job. You cleaned yourself out of a job.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
that's going to pay my mortgage.
Oh my gosh. Well, there are other places that are hiring right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, actually,
we'll see how that goes.
Well, Mike's had a couple of interviews and nothing has come of it yet. And he actually, his old manager reached out to him, just checking in on him. And she was saying how she had to go to the theater and throw out some expired stuff and all. And he offered to help. And she's like, no, I got it. It's not a big deal. And with what's going on right now, I'm hoping that means, he can go back to work sometime soon, because he would prefer to go back to the theater, So we will see how that goes.
It's going to be fun. I don't know, man. I think I'd be really good at being homeless.
Well, I asked him to check on his, because he had applied for unemployment, but he hadn't received anything yet. And I asked him, what's the site you went to? And he showed me, and I'm like, I have no idea where that is. And I just Googled where to file for unemployment in Florida, and the site that came up, he's like, I have no idea what that is. I'm like, Mike, you went to the wrong site, most likely. So
I've heard rumors that you can apply if your job does this to you, like puts you like
furloughs. Yep.
Yeah. Like if you're not on the schedule, like you can apply. So I'm going to see if I can.
Oh, I absolutely would if I were you. Have they communicated why you're not on the schedule?
There's almost no one on the schedule.
Really?
They didn't even have it up.
Now, it's pet type stores are still considered essential. Mm-hmm. So they can be opened. But you have no idea what their business is like, because you're usually gone before anybody even gets there, right?
No, I'm there when.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are they busy?
There's people coming in.
Okay. Well.
So I'm like, hey, awesome, great.
Yeah, for some reason, people really like their pets, That is such a weird market, But, oh well.
I only had 2 days this week.
That's crazy. Well, actually, I found out Mike. I asked him if he had anything going on this weekend. What's up, Todd?
What's up, dude?
I was just mentioning. I was going to tell Avery that I asked Mike if he had anything going on, and he's doing something on Sunday with my sister. They do Dungeons and Dragons, but nothing on Saturday. And I said, "Good. You're getting roped into helping me at the store. The store has a popcorn ceiling, popcorn on the painted on where it's chipped away at several points, and I either want to remove it all or remove sections and then redo it. So I'm going to need some help from the boy in helping me do that tomorrow. So
riveting.
I know. Yes, I know they do, dear. Thank you.
Today on Andrew's live stream, popcorn ceilings.
Did either of you? Well, I know Todd did. Did you guys watch? Avery? Did you watch the video I did that was me showing off my oldest piece of award-winning art?
No.
You didn't? Oh, it's hilarious, especially when I pointed out the fact that I've been a award-winning artist since I was born, and you hear my wife just burst in laughing in the background. It's really funny.
Avery, all you need to know is that he's literally drawing the same thing.
Yeah.
I've been a furry fan for a very, very long time.
It's so disturbing.
I know. Well,
it's a little weird.
Needless to say, Todd, I was glad you're here because I wanted to make an announcement, and you're one of the reasons for it.
Andrew, are you pregnant?
No, not this time. I'm trying. But what it is I was watching your boy Zach video that was talking about the book industry charity that Jim Lee and all these other creators are giving to, and the fact that only less than 38% of the money they raise actually goes to people in the book industry. And this isn't the comic book industry. This is the book industry overall.
Yes, they're completely stupid. That was one of the things that I was going to bring up today. Was before your boy had a thing talking about it.
Yep. Well, what I was thinking today is that I know some local comic book stores that could really use some charity. So I'm going to do at least 3 to 5 original pieces of art this week. And I'll tell you what it was. I was telling Avery I'd been watching clips from the anime movie Street Fighter 2 that came out back when we were in high school, and I found these clips on YouTube, and I just was loving every minute of them. They were great, and I thought about like making a cat character who was like a Street Fighter, bandaged arms and fighter. So I started working on a design, and then I realized today I'm going to design 3 to 5 of these female cat fighters, different looking characters. And then while I'm doing the live streams, I'm going to work on the designs, like this one in particular. And then I'm going to do a full illustration, do gray tones and everything on it, 9x12. And at the end of the week, I'm going to put them up on eBay with the thought that they are going to be for helping out a couple of local comic book stores in need. Specifically Misfit Corner Comics, as well as another local comic book store, because the guy that runs Misfit Corner Comics buys a lot of his supplies and so forth from another comic book store. So in actuality, if you're helping out with these auctions, you're helping out 2 local comic book stores.
Oh yeah.
So, and then the plan is the 5 characters, the 3 to 5 characters that I'm designing are going to be part of Crom's world. And then what I want to do is, after I finish with the designs and I get the illustrations done, I want to do a double page spread with Crom versus these characters. And then that will go up for auction. So needless to say, I am booked for the rest of this week and maybe a little bit beyond that, for what I'm going to be drawing during these sessions. And that is my goal, is to work towards some new character designs, some illustrations to go up on eBay, which I haven't done eBay in so long. It's so weird. But yeah, that's the plan.
Cool.
And you guys get to be the guys behind the scenes helping me.
Shit.
Oh, I know, but I still consider you valuable research material. Because I'm one of the things one of the
I
jokes.
wasn't even in the room for most of what you were babbling about.
One of the things I
Wait,
tell
what
people,
do I have to do to be considered valuable research material?
I'm getting
Study
ready to
me,
tell you.
Andrew.
I'm
Study
getting ready
me.
to tell you. One of the things.
Study me.
One of the things that was vital to me at the beginning of creating Hero is I would come up with an idea. I'd go to the kids and say, "Hey guys, what do you think of this?" And their response would either be, "Yeah, that's okay, Dad," or "No, Dad, don't do that." And so I went in a different direction. So I'm gonna maybe have you guys help me with that. You might look at a character and go, "Oh no, that's bad. Go in a different direction." You guys didn't hear my wife. She said, "You've never taken criticism like that very well."
No, you don't. Dude, sometimes you just flat out shut down.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Kodiak, how the heck are you, man?
You're terrible at taking criticism.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm terrible at taking direction. Criticism I can take.
Well, you take criticism and then you completely ignore it.
Oh, shut up, all you people. All you people who've known me most of my life. Be quiet. You don't know what you're talking about.
Only the truth. We only know the truth.
I know. Hey, Kodiak, how's it going? You're muted, buddy.
Cool.
I'm going to be putting some stuff up on eBay too, but that's just so I can pay my mortgage.
Okay.
Can I just say what are the things that I was going to point out? First of all, can you guys hear me okay? I'm using a new headset, so
No, we hear you good.
It sounds clear and crisp and all that stuff.
Had you told that to us ahead of time, we would have been screwing with you the entire time. But
yeah. No,
good.
Cool. So one of the things that I find incredibly interesting is that these people, oh my God, guys, like, okay, so yes, there's been the idea that only 38%, less than 38% are going to go to a charity. Not even 30. It's 38% has the chance to go to a comic shop, but there's no, supposedly, I mean, maybe they've worked out a deal, but there hasn't been any kind of press release from Bink saying that there's going to be like this money will be dedicated. Like these people are literally going to be giving away. Like Jim Lee is selling a drawing so that some ex-Borders employee can like pay their rent
or get help on their divorce hearing.
Yeah.
Part of it too. They help.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. The second thing is like what kind of absolute like clown show is it that they say, okay, guys, I have this idea. We need to do an auction. We need to help comic shops. What can we do? If only there were websites out there that knew how to handle auctions.
Oh God!
Unfortunately, there isn't. I guess we'll use Twitter. Like
Twitter.
Like, so you're going to go to the platform that is known. Twitter is only used by two groups: absolute lunatics and people making fun of them. That is it. That is it. That is it.
Yeah.
It is not a place to sell things. It is not a place to do ads. People do not buy things on Twitter. It's not even pushed in order, so you can't even tell, like, in terms of pricing, like, it's impossible to tell, like, what's going for what or when. There's no contact information, so the quote-unquote winner is going to have to, like, beg and plead and reach out, and I guess hope and pray to get in touch with the quote-unquote winner. And I'm like, gosh, if there's only... God forbid you actually go to, I don't know, a place like Heritage Auctions that actually is only been around for 100-something years.
Well,
is only actually known for doing. Hey, you know who actually goes to Heritage Online?
Hey, Nighthawk, how's it going?
You know who goes to Heritage Online? Two groups: people with money. People who are looking to sell something for money and people who are looking to spend money. Like you don't even go there unless you're just like daydreaming. You're either daydreaming or you're buying something. Like, and then on top of that, it's like, okay, like you didn't reach out to Heritage or let's say, I mean, I know Heritage would have been all over this. They would have I think they would have left it, but let's just say, oh, well, we reached out to Heritage and Heritage didn't want to didn't want to do it. They didn't want to help. Well, if only there was another website that so many comic artists and people know, and I actually found one. I know it's not.
You did a lot of research for it.
I
right?
did do a lot of research for it. Can I share my screen?
Sure.
Hold on.
Well, I'm drawing right now, so
It's okay. It's okay. No, I mean, I gotta. I had
Is
to
it that-
actually.
Is it that one that I've heard rumors about?
Probably.
Something or other?
I'm drawing right now. Don't interrupt my drawing. It's amazing.
Probably.
Oh my god.
Hold on. Let's see. I no, really. I was doing some Google, like, you know me. I'm all about like, the research.
Google. Oh yes.
So this is what I found. As it's news to me, but I think they actually.
I've heard of that site.
Maybe.
They do auctions, and I actually found some comic artists that actually like had done auctions before on it. And you know what's crazy is like not only does it draw excitement and attention because you can see like the latest current bid, but after you win, they accept payment. Like they'll actually take your payment and distribute the funds, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
What? It's like the entire I look, it's literally like the entire comic industry was a thought in Elmer Fudd's head.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is going on? Like, absolute clown show. If you want to know why the comic industry is tanking, this is, I'm sorry, I wish I didn't have to say this. It is a prime example. Who in their right effing mind? This is what happens when all these people on Twitter think they're relevant. Because they talk to each other all day on Twitter. So that is what they think is the most important platform. Because that's all they use to communicate with each other all day, every day.
And police each other.
And so they end up deciding to launch an auction for something that at most, so you're maybe gonna get, I'm willing to bet, let's just be generous, 50% of the potential sales lost, maybe 50%, maybe more, because you didn't use eBay or you didn't use a site like Heritage that actually generates real revenue. And then on top of generating maybe 50% less of the sale, and that's not even including like chargebacks or not being able to get in touch with a person because you're gonna have to DM them for their fucking address or their PayPal, like. So let's say they lose 50% revenue, and then out of that 50% loss in revenue, they're gonna eat another 38, or they're gonna eat another 62%.
Yep.
Because only 38% potentially goes to bookstores, and out of that 38%, we're talking maybe 10% is going. Like, who the hell? Like, I guess it's just so much wrong with this, and it's such a clear. This is the definition of a. This is what happens when all you know how to do is virtue signal.
This is the definition of a grift.
It's a total grift.
It's a
total grift.
Because what's so funny is the person who inspired and started this was Jim Lee, and he's selling all of his on eBay.
Yeah,
and they said,
that's legitimate.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it just like Jim Lee, but we're going to do it completely different.
Yeah, they should have just done. Why didn't they just put together? If Sam Humphries and all these guys wanted to get together, all they would have had to do was say, "Hey, which one of us? Hey, Jim Lee, you probably have the best eBay account. Can we use your eBay account?" Jim Lee would have taken the lead. That's fine. He's probably the top talent, the most well known. So you put it on Jim Lee's account. Jim Lee posts everybody's artwork on there. Everything goes through the roof. And you take that money.
Jim Lee doesn't have the time to do that.
Or whoever. You go to just Sam Hummer. It wouldn't matter because the name recognition of the artist and the talent would drive traffic to, guess what? One single page, one auction, one. And then people could browse the items. And then you take that money and you divide it up between. You say, hey, comic shops, if you want part of this cash, hit us up and we can validate, just like Nerdrotic and your boy did. Say, hey, look, send me the email, send me some verified account so I can prove that you're a legitimate comic shop, and send it in by this date and time, right? By May 31st or what, May 1st at midnight, and every shop that hits you up, that's the number you divide the cash by, and they get direct payments. It's not that freaking hard. This isn't hard. This is not hard, and they're just
That's what
ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. And I'm like, you know what? You guys all deserve what's coming. All of you. It's unbelievable.
All right. So what do you think of my sketch that I
Oh,
did?
you were drawing?
Yeah. See? Pretty cool. I like her.
That is pretty cool.
I'd put you guys on the screen, but none of you are there. It's all
I was ranting. So
Andrew's like, I'm important.
I was
I'm
ranting.
important.
Kodiak is silent. This is like
he's having issues with his mic.
Mike.
This is the deepest. This is like the deepest conversation I've had with Kodiak in a long time. I'm kidding. I love you.
You're a fucking dick.
And that's the smartest thing he's ever said.
Y'all drive me to drink. Hear that?
Welcome to the club, man.
Sure.
Welcome to the club.
Sure.
I had my mask on,
It's not,
my
it's,
breathing mask, and Andrew just.
I was trying.
it's not the 5 little humans running around screaming at the top of their lungs, driving him to drink. It's us.
You seen my name. I don't know if you can see it back
No, Andrew.
Kid Crazy Kodiak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found out one of my kids didn't do a week worth of work today, and the teachers. Guess what? The teachers can't get onto them no more, so they get onto me.
Oh.
My wife gave him my phone number.
Oh.
What a bitch.
Yeah, we're driving you to drink, pal.
Yeah, it's us.
That's
hilarious.
funny. That's funny.
Oh my god.
How are the kids doing in school, by the way?
It's such a non thing. It's like luckily this happened at the end of the year where they're just refreshing the rest of the year, because if they were really having to learn anything, I don't see how this would play out. You got to think the teachers were cut up, not like when we were kids. They're cut up with almost like middle school and high school. They have 60 kids. They have 3 different classes during the day. So then they have their family life, and I props to them.
Well, I called my buddy who is a school teacher and asked him how things were going, and he told me, he said, well, my day starts at the normal time at 7:30 in the morning.
Uh-huh.
He says he gets up, he logs online, he goes, and he's not a full teacher. He's still just a substitute teacher, so he's just helping, but he's working towards getting his degree so that he can do full-time teaching. But he goes in and he helps the teacher with whatever she needs for about an hour or so, doing the online stuff. And then he goes into the school and he goes on the bus and he helps with delivery of lunches, school supplies, books, notes, and they go around the neighborhoods to where the kids live and drop off stuff to people who are in need. And then he comes back home and then he logs back in and he does another session online, and that's his day. He says he's like, I'm happy I got a job. I'm happy I'm still making money, and they're keeping everybody busy. So, hey D, how's it going? D, you got the invite if you want to join. You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, that's what I was telling my son. I'm like, just because dang it, sorry about that. Just because you have only 3 or 4 hours worth of school, that teacher still has a full day of it. You know, that teacher still has a lot of BS. So if you're not doing your work and they have to go hunt that down, that's not fair to them.
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm tired. This has been a long freaking week.
Dude, I think I've been working more during this whole lock-in thing than I ever have before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My wife says they opened the parks, like the local parks, not.
Yeah,
like
you guys made national news today with the opening of the beaches.
Yep. 5 o'clock, 5 to 8 is what they're opening. So
yeah. Which doesn't, and they said for essential purposes. My wife and I was like, "What's essential on the beach?" They're like, "Oh, for jogging and this blah blah blah." I'm like, "Hey, honey, the lifeguard's coming. Pretend like you're jogging." What the hell?
Hey D, how's it going?
Hey guys,
You know what? I'm gonna do his thing right now.
Thank you, Kodiak. You don't
Yeah,
have
man.
to, but I appreciate it.
What's up?
What does that mean? You're gonna do his thing?
Ooh, you know it. I'll leave that ambiguous for you.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Ambiguous.
Well, listen, guys, I had something I wanted to share with you. I have 2 articles I wanted to share with you from Bleeding Cool, which, of course, instead of going to the site, I just screenshot the pages. That way we don't have to go to Bleeding Cool, but I wanted to share something with you, and I know at least one of you will be very excited about this one. Jim Lee original X-Men artwork to be republished as an artist edition.
Yeah, that's an insta buy for me.
I know.
Instant what? What?
It's an Instabutt. An Instabutt.
It's not an insta butt. It's an insta buy. Insta buy.
When I sent the text to Todd, he responded with Instabutt.
It was a typo.
Was a typo, but I thought it was funny. But it was only I who thought it was
How
funny.
do you buy things?
It says Marvel recently published the Jim Lee XXL edition, reprinting the early X-Men work of Jim Lee in a massive oversized hardcover volume, as they have Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. DC Comics has solicited a second volume of the art of Jim Lee hardcovers. It now seems that IDW wants in. Look at this. Does that not look gorgeous?
The only thing that bothers me or it gets me worried is that it said it's not like their other collections. It's essentially the first issue of Uncanny X-Men and then a bunch of random stuff.
It's not going to be a complete story.
It's not a run. It's not the first 12 issues of X-Men.
Well, let's read what it says and see what it says. Scott Dunbier, who used to be, I'm going to read it anyway, who used to be the EIC of Wildstorm under Jim Lee, has put together Jim Lee's X-Men Artist Edition for later in the year, which will reproduce as close to the original artwork as possible Lee's work with Chris Claremont and Scott Williams on the double-size X-Men #1 from 1990. That's cool. Along with other covers, splashes, pinups, and interior pages scanned from Lee's original art for the franchise and published at the original size that they were drawn. Thankfully, from a time when people still had hand-lettered boards. Okay, that's cool.
It's hard to believe that he did that when he was in his 20s.
It's only going to be one single issue?
Well, it's going to be a fat book. It's probably going to be 200 or 300 pages, but they're basically taking... They're reprinting the X-Men #1, and then it's going to be like this. Like this is Uncanny X-Men 277, but it's not going to be the issue. Like it's going to be tons of stuff, but it's not going to be like full issues.
Let me see if on the this.
If Kodiak is showing his face, I guess I'll show my face.
Oh, okay. Man, don't too many of you people show your faces. You might break the internet. Let me see what it says here.
Really?
While I had intended to follow in my father's footsteps and become a doctor, comics were always my passion, and incredibly, more than 30 years ago, I became an artist of my favorite comic book, X-Men, says Lee. Bringing these characters like blah, 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 blah. I want details on what's actually in it. Let's see. A former comic book art dealer, after a special project IDW, he launched a format reprinting original artwork at the original size and close to replication of boards as possible. The format was a hit, with dozens of editions now being published, and we should all show off the ones we have for those who have them. Recreating original artwork from across the medium and licensed from many publishers. The artwork in the Jim Lee book will likely fetch 6 figures. Does that mean they're going to auction it?
No, it says would likely fetch 6 figures. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Single pages fetch 6 figures. I mean, like,
that looks good.
I
would say
I don't want to catch computer virus.
I'm trying to remember if I have it or not.
I was gonna say, isn't it funny how, like, most of us in general buy like the old stuff when they reprint some of the old stuff, especially like the beautiful Jim Lee stuff, and none of the new single issues now. Nobody wants.
No, look at this cover.
I know that cover's amazing. I know but I mean, if you think about it, at that time period, it wasn't only just Jim Lee, but Marvel had a bullpen of incredible artists.
Do you
Marvel
think,
just doesn't have that now?
Yeah.
Todd, do you think they'll edit this?
What do you
if
mean?
there's a scene, I'm fairly certain in X-Men #1, there's a scene with Wolverine smoking a cigar.
No, they're not going to edit it. They're just going to print it.
Really?
These won't be edited.
I'd be interesting to see if they did it or not.
I'm very confident that they will not edit it. They're very strict. The whole point of this is that it is
Untouched.
Yeah, and I mean they don't even tone the pages. Like it's literally the yellow of the pages. Like they show all of it. You know what I mean?
I love seeing like the blue line on the page.
Yeah.
The only chance we actually get to be treated like adults from Marvel.
Well, and it's from
Marvel-
IDW.
Marvel's not publishing this. Yeah, this is IDW. So
Oh, jeez.
Well, you know what's interesting?
they do-
Andrew knows the story, but years ago in San Diego, I was walking around the convention floor, and I was doing then what I do now, which is like hang out with the original art dealers and like just kind of check stuff out. And it was Sunday, last day. A lot of people were heading out, but this guy was showing this art dealer had a portfolio open, and he was flipping through stuff, and walked up to the table, just kind of looked over his shoulder, and it was just the whole portfolio was Jim Lee X-Men and Uncanny X-Men stuff. It was this page, it was this cover, it was the cover with Omega Red. You know what I'm talking about? Like X-Men #5, I think it was, or 6.
oh yeah,
Just all these classic pages.
Was
And I
there
was just
inks?
like, yeah. These were the pages.
That means
Oh,
it's
yeah,
RT Bear. That means it's RT Bear inks.
oh no, Scott Williams.
No, it's Scott Williams. Yeah,
The one with Omega Red, #5 or whatever.
not we're talking about the cover.
Oh, okay.
That might have been. That might. To be fair, he might be right. That might be a T-Bear cover.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is like it's a portfolio full of classic Jim Lee stuff, and I'm just looking at it. I'm like, every page, I'm just like, oh my god, this is so fucking good. Like I was just like, and I can't remember what page. I thought it was the Omega Red one, but maybe you're right. I thought that Omega Red cover was Scott Williams, but it might. Maybe I'm wrong. Regardless, it was one of those covers from X-Men, and I was just like, oh my god, that's so fucking good. And the guy said thanks, and it was Scott Williams. It was his portfolio. It wasn't the dealer's portfolio. It was his portfolio. And he was like sharing it, and I asked him, like, at the time, these were like covers, and some of those pages were like going for like 5,000. Which was like, I mean, nowadays, like this. I mean, this was like years ago. Now, the same cover you'd add another at least 10 behind it.
Which cover?
I don't remember. I thought it was the one with Omega Red, but it might have been the one. It was either
number 4 or number 5.
one of those. I don't know.
Is it the
It's hard for me to remember. I just remember it was one of the ones with Wolverine. It was either the one with Omega. I mean, it was a portfolio full of them, but the one that I said, "Oh my god," on was either the one with Omega Red, or it was the one with Wolverine and the Mandarin, which is like my all-time favorite cover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something about this era. I don't know what it is, but even to this day, like,
yeah, it's signed by Williams, so it's
Williams,
definitely Lee Williams.
Even to this day, I do not know what it is, but for some reason, Jim Lee, on his Uncanny X-Men run, not necessarily his X-Men run, but his Uncanny X-Men run, it's some of the most realistic superhero, like the most realistic, like the perfect comic book image, like this. Like, it looks super realistic. Yeah, that was it. That's what I saw.
That's awesome.
That was it. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god. It was like $5,000. He was like, thanks. I was like, I love you. And then I like walked away.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Just look how good that is, dude.
Oh yeah.
Just so much stuff.
Art Adams also did a piece for the charity. It was in a Wolverine, a 9x12 Wolverine jumping out at you. Fantastic. That sucker went for $11,000.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. $11,000. That means only $3,000 what actually goes to somebody in the book industry.
Look, they're going to make a lot of money on it, but they're making a fraction of what they could have made.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth of it. And I think going on
Well,
Twitter.
he used eBay as well, so he used.
Well, then that's dead. Then he's not a complete clown.
Well, then he and Sean Gordon Murphy are using eBay as well. So
yeah, because it makes sense. Like you can, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I don't understand these people. I really don't get them. I mean, I don't understand why you can't just like use something that is meant for running an auction. Like,
another reason I know that Disney and Marvel don't care about the comic books anymore is because you can type in anything, Avengers, X-Men, anything, and the first thing that's going to come up, if you didn't type in comic books, is the movies.
Oh yeah. So I have another article I wanted to share. Just a quick update on. I mean, since we're talking about Marvel. More details from Marvel Comics' latest pause. This is one that what's his name? Zach did a thing on, and it made me feel so bad for some of these creators. I mean, when it listed out Patrick Zurcher's name, I actually had a tear form in my eye, and yeah. But more details on Marvel Comics' latest pause by our favorite Rich Johnston. Yesterday, Bleeding Cool reported details on Marvel Comics' latest edict to some comic book creators, pencils down, pencils down, to stop working on their current projects. The current situation has seen many comic book companies cease printing and publications and put projects on hold. DC Comics has reportedly moved some creators onto the new Batman Black and White digital comic, but that's it. But that is only a handful. Theodore? Who's Theodore?
Alvin!
Damn it.
Marvel initially stopped work on 15 to 20% of its titles. That's what, 15 to 20 comics a month? Because they do like 100 comics a month right now. So
the wrong button.
Mostly new launches and those tied with delayed movies such as Black Widow and Taskmaster. Yesterday, we heard that another 10 to 15%. Uh-oh. What's up, Mr. Dillard?
Hey, what's going on?
We're just reading an article here. It's interesting.
I know how to sit back and shut my mouth.
Oh, okay. Yesterday, we heard another 10 to 15% of
That'll be a
titles
first.
had suffered a similar order and affecting more of the ongoing titles. We were told that certain X comics were already far ahead as part of the advanced dawn of X scheduling, but books like Deadpool, currently by Kelly Thompson and Gerardo Sandoval, have also been included. Wasn't Deadpool by Chris Bacalo? Or has he already moved on to that?
That was a long time ago, bro.
I swear I just saw one of the new issues in the store. It was like issue 3.
Wait, Kelly Thompson is writing Deadpool?
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. But
She
still,
was.
it's like, who makes that decision? Somebody that hates everything that type of character is.
I mean, you did see that how he rocketed a well-known and huge movie star character of Aquaman to the top of the sales chart. You know? All right, here's the other part of the article.
Somebody just rip one.
Today,
I'm ripping a length of tape.
Today, we have learned that affects creators like Jim Zub, author of the Conan the Barbarian, and a number of the Empire spin-off books. Patrick Zurcher. Wait a minute. Tear. Artist of Savage Avengers, and Adam Hughes, who's been working on Black Widow covers. Guys, do you feel sorry for Adam Hughes? He no longer is doing work on Black Widow covers.
I mean, Adam isn't going to be hurting for work. Adam has a pretty. I mean, I like Adam Hughes. He's a good guy.
I swear they put his name in here just to, make you feel bad for him.
He's a good guy. And Jim Sub is pretty decent.
Yeah. Well, here's the one that also hurt me. This one hurt me almost as bad as Patrick Zurcher. I have also been told that Alex Ross curated Marvel Anthology series is on hold, as is the ongoing Black Cat series by Jeb McKay and Nika. I don't have any idea who they are, but Alex Ross has been put on pencils, pencils down, guys. What is he gonna do?
You know why? Because he offered his work for free.
What?
Yeah, that's what Ethan was saying, or one of the guys. Yeah.
Oh wow!
I
Well,
didn't know this part. This part's new, but I know why he's working is because that he offered it. He's like, I would love to do something, and then he offered a book full of freaking characters that he's invented to Marvel for free. The man's insane. I don't know what the details on his side of the story is, but it sounds insane.
I guess that's what happens when you become rich and famous, and you just give away your work for free. Crazy. Oh, well, let's finish this. The pauses are all down to the projects rather than the creators, and they're just those that I've heard. The details may be different. I am happy to amend those depending. Blah, blah, blah. I am told that Marvel is having a big meeting this week to try and put something together similar to DC Comics to keep their creators in work on new, possibly digitally first projects. Picard facepalm, everybody. As freelancers, Marvel is aware that they may seek work elsewhere. DC Comics is still hiring and producing more than anyone else right now, and the lure of creator-owned comics for the future, for a future Image Comics or crowdfunding right now on Kickstarter may suddenly be more appealing. Bleeding Cool continues to report on how the current situation is affecting the comic industry as the link.
You notice how Rich left off Indiegogo in that whole.
Yeah, well, that once again, that's the fact that Kickstarter is synonymous with crowdfunding, and if you say Indiegogo, people might look at you like, "What are you talking about?" You go Kickstarter. They go, "Oh, okay, I get it. I understand now."
Did you guys see Ethan's short new 4-minute video about Patrick Zercher on? It's pretty epic.
Is it good?
It's hilarious. I shared it on Twitter and I said, "Oh, I feel so bad for Patrick."
It's pretty.
Summarize it.
It was rare times where a video actually made me laugh out loud.
It goes. It's a whole bunch of his tweets where he's just bashing Comicsgate left and right, and then the last couple of tweets is, "Well, I just got the message. I'm unemployed. I'm not working anymore." It's just. Hey, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I mean, that's all I'm saying. So, but I think it's funny how they're saying that they may try to do something like DC's doing.
It's going around.
I haven't heard anything that DC's doing. Have you?
Yeah, DC is. So the first thing is that DC decided to go digital. They're doing digital first. The second thing is that they announced today. That they are they've got 2 new distributors, and they're brand new entities, and the first one is the rumor is that the first one is Midtown Comics New York, and the second one is DCBS.
Very interesting.
Yeah, they broke the contract with Diamond.
This Todd,
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it, but our theories on what was going to happen with the comic book industry, they're both coming true.
Mm-hmm.
Because your thing was digital, my thing was they'll find another distributor.
Well,
holy crap, we are the most intelligent people on this panel. You and me, Todd. We're it. We're it.
I am the most intelligent person in this box right here.
I'm the most intelligent person in.
Do you guys really think they can make enough money off of digital?
Box.
No.
No.
I don't think, and I think I like Midtown Comics, and DCBS is really good. The problem isn't going to be, they'll be able to do some distribution. I think that's great. The problem they're going to have, though, is that there's not going to be any stores left.
Well, there will be some stores that survive.
Yeah.
Where else can those distributors get them? Like, what other spots besides just the comic shop?
Well, DCBS delivers directly to the customer, not to the comic stores.
Right, and I think that's going to be that would be the future. I think. Well, I think you see what they're doing. I mean, I think you see the kind of the plan. Then it's like, okay, well, we need. If I was DC Comics, I would have wanted to do that a long time ago. Is like have a plan to go right to the customer and have a plan to go to the remaining comic shops and continue going with this thing.
Todd, I think if you think about it, one of the advantages to going with DCBS services, which is directly to the customer, is the SJW comics will never get ordered.
Yes, this is true.
That is going to dry up very, very quickly. All the stuff that the stores are kind of forced to sell.
Yeah,
exactly. The stores are forced to buy them and then have to sit on them forever. Those will not be ordered. You know,
Yeah.
that could be a good thing overall. I mean, this whole thing, this whole shakeup in this industry, in the comic book industry, could have some really good ramifications.
Well,
In the long run, yes, absolutely.
Now I wonder if they could get the distributors for magazines to carry them again. If they would be willing to at the price point comics are. So when you're in line at the grocery store and you see that trash $3 magazine, there should be a comic right below it, like there used to be.
Yeah. God, you
know
guys
what?
remember? Do you remember Digest Comics?
Yeah.
The Archie. They had GI Joe and Transformers. I loved those. As a
Yeah.
kid.
They should be printing big fat Digest reprints, man, and putting them right there at eye level.
Is that what those comic books, not just Digest the brand, but they were comic books? Like I had a comic
That
book.
format's called Digest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was wondering that just the other day. That's weird it come up. I had a Black Spider-Man circling around. You know that famous cover of him circling around Megatron for Transformers?
Mm-hmm.
I had that in a digest form. I love those.
The
You
kids
used to see them in the
today,
80s at the checkout line, food line.
the kids
Yeah.
today would tell you that's manga size, but yeah.
Yeah.
To us, it was Digest size.
But it's not really manga sized. I mean, it doesn't look.
Well, I know,
manga's
but
different.
it's-
but
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a great format to bring in a new reader.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that got me.
I loved
Yeah.
them because the GI Joe ones reprinted issues of GI Joe that I could not afford, like issues
Yes.
1 and 2. You could not back in that
Yes.
day. They were worth some money, but I had the digest versions of them, so I
Yeah.
read them and enjoyed them and loved them. Loved
Exactly.
them. So
They were cheap and they usually had several issues worth of stuff in them.
yep.
Mhm.
Hey, there's some positive stuff that could be happening here. Now I wonder if anybody, specifically the big guys in Comicsgate, Ethan, your boy Zach, would reach out to DCBS services.
I don't know. They're
Maybe.
It's just another
they're selling at a premium price. You know, they're selling at boutique prices.
right, but they could do. They had always talked about doing editions that would go to stores, that could go to stores. You know, not the $25 original chromium cover, but the regular edition. Make a deal and give, 10,000 copies to DCBS and have it added to whatever catalog. They do all their stuff online, don't they? They don't have a catalog. So I always
It's not a bad thought. I mean, if you've got the kind of backing where you can run off essentially like a store copy where there's still a store level copy, that's got that $4 or $5 price tag,
Yep.
and it still be profitable, even with them taking their cut. Maybe.
I mean, it's not the worst idea. I mean, the problem with doing it yourself is that there's still you're always paying money for something.
right.
There's always an opportunity cost and a cost for doing business, a cost of goods sold. So, it's not like Ethan or any of these guys, like, they get the money and they get the product made, but then it's the time that either they have to spend or their family has to spend or their assistants have to spend packing and shipping 5,000 unique pieces.
Right.
That takes that time you can't get back, and that there is a dollar amount, for every pack he has to put in the mail. That's a few minutes that he's not drawing at the table working on his next book, which could generate more money for the next campaign.
But if you said, let's say your goal was 50,000 and you made 100,000, and you were able to use the first 50 to cover everybody that had placed, it's not bids, you know what I mean, had backed the project, and then with some of the extra money, you do a standard edition copy and get maybe 10,000 in, and then that would be what you would ship to DCBS services to make available at their website to make it available to everybody. I don't know. I think some of the guys who have had these really successful campaigns could easily do it. It's the small guys that it would be so much harder to do.
The thing is, though, the profit margin on that might be so low that it's not worth it. It's better to keep that another $10,000 in printing, $15,000, maybe even $20,000 in printing in your pocket.
Well, I mean, Ethan's got a interesting. Seems to have an interesting partnership with Dynamite and some licensors or something like that. Like he's not really necessarily in charge of shipping all.
That's
of that
just because Dynamite is thirsty right now,
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing.
No, I mean, well, they're smart. They're not stupid.
Well, we've mentioned it. We mentioned it before. Printing extra copies to take to conventions. Why not print extra copies to deal through DCBS services? You know,
because it's a waste of time. You're gonna get $2 profit instead of $13 profit. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Well, if you've already gotten the money and paid for
it's more work when you could be making $13 a book.
Yeah.
Going to conventions.
Yeah.
It's like getting a second job where you're getting half a minimum wage. It's not worth your time.
Yeah, not when you're making that kind of money. The profit margins are too low.
You go to conventions, Andrew, because you like to go.
I do.
That's different. You go to the conventions. You and I would go to the convention, sell books, and really just sell books to give us an excuse to hang out,
to be there,
experience. Right, exactly.
Have a table to drop our crap off while we go walk around the.
How many times have we said the reason we buy it, the reason we get tables, the reason you get a table is so that we have a place to sit at Comic-Con?
Pretty much every single time.
We have a guaranteed.
How many times have we gotten to the convention with one of the kids, and the first thing we say is, "When you're tired, you come here. This is the table. You come find it. You come sit down. You relax. You rest." And then we tell everybody we know that, like, you know, Rich or Jamie or whatever, hey, this is where you can come and sit down and relax.
That's right.
I go to their tables all the time too. So, but yeah, there's a lot. I think
it's not a business. I mean, there are people that do it all the time and travel and make their living that way, but that's because if you are making more money by going to conventions and setting up shop, there's a problem in your sales process, because you're never gonna the amount of money you have to spend and to fly, to get the table, to set everything up. Like, if that's making you more money than just sitting at your house drawing, making a book and shipping it, like, there's a problem.
Well, I'm just saying it's a potential another outlet, you know. And I don't know how much DCBS takes. I don't have no clue what kind of cut they take, you know. If it was better than Diamond, substantially better than Diamond, some of these major companies, or maybe even some of the smaller companies, would have switched over to them years and years ago, you know, because they've been around for a long time. They've been around for a while.
Well, no,
DCBS.
No. But this is different because they never had the opportunity. Diamond is a monopoly without being a monopoly. They have exclusives with Marvel and DC.
They're the definition of a monopoly.
Well, I mean, you say that, and I would say that, but the court system decided that it was not a monopoly. So legally, it's not a monopoly. So
the court system changed what they thought a monopoly was back in the 80s, but that doesn't mean it's constitution based. That's
fair.
I'm
just saying, like, there hasn't been a competitor. So, but a lot of that is because literally when Marvel picked up Heroes as a distributor,
Heroes.
Heroes World. All of the other companies went and said, "Screw you! We're not letting Marvel distribute our books," and they went exclusive to Diamond. And then that forced Marvel to sell all that crap and just go exclusive with Diamond. So you know, it's taken an extinction event for these companies to just break their deal with Diamond, risk legal, you know, ramifications, and maybe there's going to be a workaround. You know, like the DCBS deal is probably safe because Diamond doesn't distribute straight to consumer.
Right.
And
but I'm pretty sure DCBS services got their comics from Diamond to begin with, though.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're going to get it directly from DC.
Yeah, but they already have the pipeline set up. So
right, and the distribution and so forth.
Mm-hmm. And then in terms of Midtown has a really good working relationship with Diamond and DC and Marvel and all that stuff because Midtown, in fact, one of Melissa's friends, her brother is the guy that kind of owns Midtown, and or runs it or something like that, like pretty like one of the main guys there, and they run a good ship, like they actually know what they're doing.
Right.
And it shows. Like Midtown is one of the best comic shops I've ever been in, and to still be around and to be in like Times Square and in multiple locations in Manhattan, and still be viable in this climate, they know what they're doing.
Don't they also offer home delivery in some areas?
Yeah, they do subscriptions.
No, but I mean they'll bring it to your work or your home.
I don't know, maybe.
I think I remember seeing a flyer last time we were up there, but who knows? But I mean, if that's something they did, that's just an extra service that a lot of comic book stores can't always do.
Mm. Yeah,
So-
they're very smart, and you never know with that kind of circumstance. It might be a for Midtown. It might be a temporary thing.
Right.
It's like a patch. Do you know what I mean? They have a working relationship. You never know. They might end up being a competitor to Diamond, but. I don't know. Diamond is a beast. Diamond's not going away unless they decide to go away.
You don't think the analogy that they're a dinosaur going extinct is valid?
With Diamond?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Because Diamond doesn't give a you could turn off the comics. You could cut those pages out of previews and there would still be a previews magazine.
well, that's true, but they did buckle quicker than anybody else did.
You're going to see, I promise you, in the next few months, you're going to see them pad previews with more RPGs, more pop figurines, more statues.
I did go by my local LCS, and I was talking to the owner, and he's limiting hours. He's not going to be open on Sunday, and he was already not open on Mondays. But he's still getting some items from different distributors, obviously not from Diamond, but he also has a gaming store and he gets gaming products still. Now he's not opening up his game room for people to come and play, but he's still getting products each week, just not comics.
Mm.
So
he's getting product from Diamond.
No, not at all. But he gets a lot of his gaming stuff from other distributors. Yeah. Which I'm assuming they either get it to him sooner than Diamond does or cheaper. So
yeah.
But that's the reason why Diamond is not considered a monopoly, because there is other distributors of those products out there.
They're choosing not to distribute comics because they're not stupid.
Well, then again, a lot of comic stores are closed. So
Geppy is a smart guy. That guy invented, and I mean, Steve Geppy is the reason comics exist right now. Period.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I think that guy saved comics multiple times. Like he deserves a lot of credit for a lot of things. Now, I'm not saying he's not perfect. There's a lot of complaints with retailers with like the way Diamond ships things and all that kind of stuff. But that dude in the 80s and 90s, like that guy did a lot. So, I mean, he owns pretty much every amazing like comic page you could imagine. So,
Hey D,
Yes.
it's gonna be really simple. Is that cool?
Yeah, no, I don't mind. I appreciate it. It's very awesome of you to make a avatar for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
an
actually
avatar
post
for us,
it,
that's
but but thank you.
Let's see it. I want to see it.
So
no, you're the one. My avatar, by the way, D, was done by John Dillard, and it's still one of my favorite things. So that's why I'm like, I just recently had to change it to my face, and I'm like, that's not as good as. Anyway,
Now,
yeah.
Dillard,
Yeah.
is your store still open? Are you still able to go to a comic book store or no?
No, I'm not.
I don't think he's been buying Have you been buying comics in a while, other than like whatever
The
you do
comics that I
online?
buy are still mainstream comics, and the comics that I buy are pretty much only Batman.
Mm. Old school or newer?
New.
Do you have Batman number 89?
Do you
No.
have Batman number 69? I don't know. I'm sorry.
'89 is the first appearance
Nasty.
of Punchline.
Oh yeah, Andrew loves Punchline.
What?
Andrew loves Punchline.
No, I don't actually collect comic books.
You're a reader, right?
Yeah, and I'm also I use them a lot for like when I draw and stuff. Like look, this one here. This is it's kind of folded over and backwards, but this is my White Knight.
There you go.
But I use it just like the other day I was doing a building set, and I found this one how he stops drawing to kind of show the illumination of the light.
Mm-hmm.
And so I use it. I'll use it a lot for when I draw and stuff to get inspiration and things like that. So I don't really collect them or take care of them or save old issues.
That's funny because everyone was like, "Oh, you don't fold comics over in front of your dad. Don't do this." And my dad was all like, he taught you how to hold a comic book correctly and whatever. And then one time,
huh?
You gotta do
with the
glowing
Joker
red
laugh.
eyes. You gotta do the glowing red eyes on the last one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was
who
gonna
did
do the
that?
glowing red eyes.
You gotta Photoshop in some tears.
I was gonna do the red eyes, but I was like,
But he was really analytical since he was a young man. Before it was popular to keep you up with your books, he was one of those dudes. And so I knew better. Like I was keeping, and he kind of with me and only me. He's like, look, I've seen the way you don't collect books. You collect them to read. You collect them to fold over and draw from. He's like, and especially it was in the 90s too, when everybody thought everything was worth it. And my dad was the first one to say, even though he was buying 10 copies of everything, he was the first to say, this is gonna bust. It's gonna implode on itself. Don't, he's like, if you're folding over comic books to draw from them, that's what you should do. He's like in secret, people always thought I was analytical about keeping my books on card, so to speak. But he's like, when I was drawing, I had my books that I would fold over and I would sit on the floor and I would lay on and stuff like that. So I always took that to heart. I don't really collect for I have a couple up here that are memories. They're not even key issues, but they're more memories. But other than that, I don't collect for that reason.
What was that, Todd?
huh?
What was that? It was like a
put it up on the screen.
Yeah, that's
This is something that I found.
See, I wasn't sure.
Let me see. Oh, look, you can zoom in and actually show you. Let me. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were showing us your screen again by accident.
No. This is. I completely had forgotten this. I'd probably read it as a kid and just never. It was like whatever. This was in Marvel Fanfare #1, the last page, as an open letter to Stan Lee from Jim Shooter.
Oh,
and it is awesome. So I don't know, Andrew, if you want to read it, but it's very good. It made me remember what comics.
But you got to read it like Shooter.
How would Shooter read it? Because I can't do it.
Or Bobcat Goldthwait.
Entertainingly.
Dear Stan.
Wait, legit or his character? Legit Goldthwait or his character?
Of course, come on.
Oh, I wish I
read
could
it. Read it like Dice Clay.
No, I wish I could read it like.
I liked it better when you.
What's his name? Luke Cage, not Luke Cage, Nick Cage.
No, read it like Wesley Snipes' Blade.
Dear Stan. I don't know. Okay, hold on.
Just read it.
All right, an open letter to Stan Lee. Dear Stan, we haven't had a chance to talk for a while, so I thought I'd drop you a line. No special reason. I just feel like blathering at you for a couple of paragraphs. Remember back when you were working here in New York, how every now and then, around 5:30 or so, after a typical chaotic day, I'd sort of wander into your office and lump down on the couch and we'd just shoot the breeze. It's about 5:45 p.m. now, and I'm in the same sort of mood. You're the Marvel Hollywood mogul these days, and I guess it's good that you're keeping an eye on all that TV and movie stuff. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it, right? Blah. I liked it better when you were here, in the office, next door, down the hall. I know. You say you're just a phone call away. Bull. It just isn't the same as when I could pop in anytime with the latest revelation or crisis or good news or problem and flop down on your couch and be amazed or distressed or happy or puzzled with you right there, right away, face to face. That was always a better deal than I realized at the time. Where else besides this strange place could I have strolled into the big boss's office more or less whenever I pleased, put my feet on the coffee table and scarf down sour balls from the candy dish while complaining about the weather, the Mets, and how hard it is to explain the mysterious science of balloon placement to new writers. Oh, okay, I got what that. More important, who else would really truly understand how hard it is to explain balloon placement to new writers? How many times did I thank the
It's in order.
proverbial stars that you, the publisher, executive vice president, creative director, high muckamuck, whatever the heck your title is, had spent many years doing my job so that you really, really understood the problem? Even when you didn't have an answer, I felt better than whenever the current crisis was because, hey, if you didn't know what to do, it must be okay for me not to know. I'm really glad you were here during the final couple years of my time in this job, at least so that I could get my feet under me before you went west. I'm glad we didn't have 3 time zones and a telephone separating us back when we were struggling to get Epic launched, or the time that we had to trash a couple 100,000 copies of Battlestar Galactica Super Special. Oh no, that's horrible, because of the legal hassle. Geez, how many years has it been since I became EIC? 4, I guess, already? Wow. I remember the day in December of 1977 when you asked me to have lunch with you downstairs at the Ultimate Lotus. I was an associate editor then. I figured we were going to discuss the Spider-Man Daily Strip, which I was plotting for you at the time, but instead you wanted to tell me that Archie Goodwin had resigned to become a writer again, and that you wanted me to replace him as editor-in-chief. You told me then how much grief it would be. You warned me that I'd be faced some big problems and tough decisions in the months to come, and that doing the job right meant enduring a lot of abuse from a lot of people. Whew.
Almost there.
This is very small print, guys. I'm really trying really hard.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
I'm actually looking at the.
There's a magnifying glass to your top.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but that's all right.
Okay.
All right. Okay, wait a minute. You also told me to deal with grief, big problems, tough decisions, and abuse. The grief, you told me, is standard fare. In publishing, you've got to expect a lot of late nights making deadlines, a lot of boring memos about budgets, a lot of aggravating meetings about schedules and other nonsense. The problems, you said, come daily. The latest books are always the ones that get lost in the mail. Stat machines only break down when you need them desperately. All the inkers are busy when you've got jobs to give out, and all of them need work when everything is backed up at the letterers. The toughest decision, you told me, can be avoided. A lot of bucks stop at the desk of the editor-in-chief. Choices must be made. Creative choices, business choices, who to hire, and sometimes who to fire. As for the abuse, you warned me that there was a lot of things that needed changing, things that had been neglected for years. The changes needed, you said, would very likely leave some people upset. Furthermore, you told me that no matter what I did, somebody wouldn't like it. And people who don't like what you do, often attack you. You said that there was no defense against the abuse except one, to always, always deal fairly, honestly, and honorable with everybody. In the long run, you said people would learn that you could be trusted and judge your comics accordingly.
Critics.
Oh, and could trust and judge your critics accordingly. Sorry. Above all, you said never answer the abuse in kind. Well, 4 years into the trip, I can tell you without a doubt that you were right about everything. In fact, I've been a bit rougher than you warned me. It's been a bit rougher than you warned me it would be. It's also been better than I ever imagined it could be. I took a stroll around the place this afternoon, and I realized for the 1,000th time that the people who work here are not only the best group of comic editors, artists, and productive people ever assembled, they're truly the best people I know. What a place to work. Creatively, we've begun to open up a whole new era with our graphic novel series Epic, an all-direction title Fanfare, and other great stuff. And personally, I couldn't be happier. I love my job. It's getting late. Time to go home, I guess. Hey, would you believe that 2/3 of the people in the pen are still here working? Well, Well, we'll all what? We'll all love our jobs, I guess. Thanks, Stan. Sign, Shooter. P.S. I almost forgot. Say hi to the Marvel production folks and Joan for me. That's all for now.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
There,
That makes me like the dude.
as I was reading it, I kept getting slightly lost because I was like, "Damn, that's profound." And
Isn't it?
Yeah.
so I kept.
You did a good
I
job on
kind of
that.
tripped over myself several times, but that was good.
It's amazing. It's talking, especially when it talks about abuse and it's just all the stuff going on. It's like that's there you go.
Never answer abuse in kind. That's a
pure.
Somebody needs to Twitter this to the comic skate guys. Give them
pure professionalism.
Yeah,
pure professionalism on
show
all
them
sides.
The bullshit has always been part of the shit.
Yeah.
How did Shooter lose his job as editor in chief? I don't remember, but I mean, I was reading comics
didn't he
during his
retire?
time period, but
no.
He got kicked out of Marvel.
He got kicked out.
Yeah,
he was fired. I remembered. Yeah. He was
Why did he get fired?
He was very the stories where he was very, very tough, and he hurt too many feelings, and enough people complained, and they let him go because of it. But
that was like a golden age almost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was a real tough SOB. Yeah, and he was young. He was very young, and he was a tough SOB. And they produced some of the best books ever. And maybe a little bit of future casting. With people with hurt feelings and couldn't take it and didn't like how tough he was. They got rid of him, and then things laxed up. I mean, granted, there was the '90s, which was a boom, but they lost it.
Yep.
So was he kicked out in the 80s or the 90s? Because I remember, I mean, I was reading the X-Men at the time that he was the editor-in-chief.
That was the 80s, because he went to what was it? Plasma. Plasma was not the brand. Plasma was the
one of the main titles.
The main titles.
He started a company called Defiant.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Defiant and Broadway Comics was what it was. Yeah, he went from Marvel to Valiant, and then pretty much started Defiant and Broadway, and neither one of those ever did anything. So.
But I remember, like in one of the X-Men that I would read, that Wolverine would disappear for like 4 issues. And then Wolverine would be in his own limited series during that 4-issue time span. It was just awesome. It was
that's when they actually cared and plotted out like where the characters would be in a legitimate continuity timeline. Like he can't be in Spider-Man this month. We've got Wolverine and X-Men this month.
Yeah,
right.
I know.
I remember in the
incredible.
In the early aughts, I was out of comics, but I would see a whole bunch of videos on how Wolverine would be here, which was half a world away or in space or whatever. But that same month he would be over here, and it's like they're overutilizing. And then
they really did. I mean, during his reign, they actually did a really good job of using that exact point. Like they would in the same month, they would have, if they had Wolverine in space, you'd have the Wolverine in space adventure. But then in the X-Men comic, they'd be like, they try to contact Wolverine and be like, he's in space. Like it would actually like tie together, and that's when you would have the editor note, go check out this comic.
Yeah,
and it made a lot of sense. It was a giant continuity run, and not like today where it's like there's 8 X-Men books and Wolverine and Cyclops are in each one, and they each have different relationships in each book. Like they're either
remember when those
in X-Men book 1 they're fighting, in X-Men book 1A they're kissing.
Remember when those editor notes would go way back? Like it would go, and you'd go look for that book, and it'd be like $15 or $20 because it's like 5 years old, 6 years old.
It was Valiant. Valiant was Defiant was Plasm. He went from Valiant to Defiant. That's right.
Yep.
Because he started Valiant.
It said here, Jim Shooter is an American writer, editor, and publisher for various comic books. He started professionally in the medium at the age of 14. That I did not know.
He was young. He was editor-in-chief by like 18 or 19, wasn't he?
And his most notably the success and controversial run on Marvel Comics, 9th editor-in-chief, and his work as editor-in-chief of Valiant Comics.
So what? He was born in 61, right?
51. He's 68 years old now.
51. So that letter was 1981.
So he was 30 years old at that point.
Yeah, and he'd been editor-in-chief for 4 years.
So 26.
Yeah, 26, 27, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he was ousted from Valiant in 1992, and he started Defiant Comics. And I remember working in the comic book store when those came out, and they did Plasm.
The problem with Valiant and the Plasm stuff that was Defiant, right?
Yeah.
The problem with Defiant was that it was the Valiant problem. The problem that Valiant Comics always had was Valiant was the first publisher, in my knowledge, to focus on.
Oh my god, dude! What? Fucking Mike is. I don't even know why I'm still getting freaking. I've unsubbed to this dude, and my fucking thing keeps giving me notifications for him.
For who?
Mike. It's his latest thing is called.
Oh,
what the hell? No, guys, you got to listen to this. I mean, I know it was interrupting, but look. It says Friday night stimulus auctions. Fucking guy cannot understand it. The amount of cringe he expels. Sorry. Rant over.
That's all right. We'll cut that out. Trust me.
You don't have to. All I was going to say.
Cut it out and send it to him.
All I was going to say is that Valiant was the first comic publisher that I know of where they said it's not about the art, it's about the writing. And where Marvel, and that was their differentiator, where Marvel and DC at the time were art focused, they decided to be writer focused. And the writing was excellent, but the art was average. And then Defiant took it another level where they were writing focused, but the art was a little lower than Valiant was. It was really like, I just remember like maybe it was just Plasm, but I remember like soft pastel colors and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it was when I worked at the comic book stores when Image started, and everybody knew Image was the artist, Valiant was the writer. Those were the reasons why people bought them, and I barely ever picked up a Valiant title until Bart Sears did Turok and so forth,
and Barry Windsor Smith,
Archer and Armstrong and so forth. But yeah, when it came to what I liked, it was the artist. So that's why Image, worked for me better. But
worked for everybody better.
Yeah, well, they're still around. Well, Valiant's still around, and they've hired Heather Ontos. So I mean, there you go. I wonder if Jim Shooter would be crying in his sleep right now. Oh, Kodiak wants back in. He said,
"What the hell did I do?"
He said, "Yeah, I don't know what happened. He disappeared, and I looked down, and I just see him go like this."
Trying to get my what the hell?
Hey, I'll see you guys a little later. My phone's about to die.
Oh, all right. D. Take it.
Yeah,
D.
Later, D.
Good night.
Take care.
Guys.
Stay good, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Is Dillard still here? Because he's being
Who's D?
quiet.
D loves all things.
He loves all things.
He's been around for a good while. He was here before I was.
He's one of Misfit Corner Comics super fans.
Yeah.
We have two.
No, 2 viewers. One is a super fan.
Counts. I'm counting it.
That's right. I just got to go check. I haven't been on eBay in so long. Let me go check my eBay, see if I can still log in.
Riveting.
Why do you care about this now, Andrew?
Because I'm going to be putting stuff up for auction next week. Oh, yeah. I got 986 positive feedbacks. And let me see here. 1 positive in the last 12 months. But at least I got 100% rating. So I only got one negative one in my entire time on eBay. And I have thousands and thousands of auctions that I did. My score is only 986, but I sold to people multiple times, many, many, many times. But I only ever got one bad review. And I remember it because the guy got the product or whatever it was I sent him, and he wasn't happy. Some part of it was damaged. And he sent me a message through eBay and said, "Hey, this is done, and let me know what you're going to do about it. And it was like a half hour later, I actually saw the message, and he had already left the negative feedback. It was like, what? He didn't give me any time at all. And I originally wrote out a little thing to him, getting ready to blast him for being such an asshole for doing it that way. And then I erased everything I wrote, and I said, don't worry about it. I'll send you a new whatever it was. I don't remember. But and then that was it.
I like how you remember it.
Well, I do.
It's almost as if, it would be. What's crazy is like it's almost as if you could probably. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking here. Maybe use your eBay account to actually continue to ship your own comic books from your store to people all over the country.
Yeah. See, I don't think that's a good idea because I have a lot of dollar comics, and I'm not going to sell enough.
You don't sell the dollar ones, doofus. You sell the how many collections do you have? How many graphic novels do you have?
You sell them in lots, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was
Sell it
thinking.
in a lot.
You sell them in lots. That is what I see.
$10 grab bags, some shit like that.
You say this is X-Men 240 through 240 whatever that completes an arc. And
or you just say a box of 10 random books. Like that's
Yeah, that's a doable thing too.
Mm-hmm.
You sell them as a lot plus shipping and handling, and you say shipping and handling is always priority, whatever, however many fit in that envelope, and that person knows exactly what the shipping's going to cost them because they can go on USPS and look. That envelope is always this amount, whatever fits in it.
Yeah,
I have an idea. Comicsmysterybox.com.
Don't you own that website?
I should. But it's a mystery box, and you just
Well, with those, there's lots of those, and usually they have to have like 10 lots, and one of those has to have a key issue in it. There's a game.
no.
that
All
to
you
make-
need is like a stack of 10 random comics and like a used condom, and you're good.
That would be door number 2, right? All right. So let me circle back around to the beginning of the show. For anybody out there, there's nobody watching.
I love how you, Andrew, like sometimes your timing. I'm just talking about a used condom, and Andrew goes right for the reach around.
So, needless to say, I will be cutting that out of the video.
Kids, bring me my wine.
I want that on my phone as my ringer.
Oh my God!
All the blood cells to my head right now.
Look in there.
Hey, look.
Kodiak. Kodiak, by any chance, you know what the mute button is for?
I usually do, but y'all had to hear that one because it was fun.
Yeah, I want that on my ringer.
How tall is that kid if he was standing like 3 feet taller than your head? Is that kid like 6.5 feet tall?
Dude, I have a pinched nerve because sitting all day fucking sucks. Drawing. Well, it's not all day. I'm not awake during the day. I've been sleeping during the day and working at night, and I've been
hungover.
Well, no. This is the first time I've drank in a week, actually. But I'm already hungover. No, so I pinched a nerve in something, and it's excruciating. I can't sleep. I haven't slept well in like 4 days. What am I complaining for? I'm an artist. We all have that shit. Sit too much, you fucking pinch something in every part of your back.
Yeah,
That's true.
Even though my dog is a huge pain in the ass during the day, I'm thankful for him because he literally makes me get up from my chair every hour and take him outside to go pee. And if I just sat in this chair all day long, I'd be in so much pain.
Yeah.
But he forces me to get up every hour. So,
But the past couple days, I got up at like 5 p.m. in the evening, and I've sat in a chair and drawn, which is productive for my book, but until like 7 o'clock in the next morning. So there's been a couple days of that, and that's not really healthy at all.
yeah.
Oh yes, speaking of that, I just finished the Buckler.
The ash can or the book? Oh, the
ash can, and sent that off to Rick, and it's good to go.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I can't wait to get my copy in my hot little hands.
Dinky. No, I feel like I'm picking
Sweaty little hand.
I have really big hands. Look how big my hands are, man. I could crush you and like, you know.
You can almost hold a golf ball with one hand.
Once again. Oh well. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap up. Thank you guys.
Wait.
What?
I
What?
was not fast enough. I guess I'll have to wait.
For what?
I wanted to show you some art from
What?
Todd is going to show you some art things while I get my shit together.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you always have shit ready. What the hell?
I just showed like 4 things.
What about art auctions? No, I know you have some tabs open from some art auctions. Look at that
I
face.
don't.
Oh,
I don't. I'm looking. I don't have anything open for art auctions. I have a million tabs open. It's true.
Well, we've been at this for an hour and a half, and I was running late. So let's wrap this up so that everybody can get some good night's sleep tonight. Thank you guys for joining. It was fun. I do not know if I will live stream tomorrow or not. I'm kind of making it a 5-day-a-week thing, and I've already done 5 this week. A week being Sunday through Saturday, in my mind, Sunday through Saturday.
And I would just like to say to all my comic book brethren and sister Ren who are
Sister Ren? Your sister is Ren?
Sister
What
Ren.
the hell? You heard it here first.
People in the comic industry, friends of mine who are out of work. Learn to
Get a
code.
job.
Time to learn to code.
Learn to code.
I did. I learned to code. Not making that up. Smile on my face.
Wait. Before we go, you want to see some stuff I'm working on?
Yeah.
I removed the background because I'm still working on the background, but how do I screen share?
All right. Good night, everybody.
Wait. Oh, no. Wait. There it is. This is my main character.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
I've actually been inspired by some of the stuff that John Dillard's doing, so I made him more muscular. I made him more bulgy. I made him more.
Don't
pissed
blame
off.
me for that.
What
I'm
happened
blaming
to his abs?
No, I didn't want abs. It's not a superhero comic book. It's a biker comic book. So
That's dope. It's a torn shirt, Andrew.
Yeah, it's a torn. Yeah, it's a
What?
torn shirt.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
He wouldn't be all the time like. It's kind of like that book you showed me. Help me out. The one that I love.
Scalped.
Tom of
Yeah,
Finland.
Scalp.
Tom of Finland.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Oh! What am I doing?
No.
Oh, I hope there's not nudity. Okay, and that's funny because it goes from that to this at some point. I'm probably gonna have to adjust this where it doesn't look like such a jump, but that's the bad guy in the story.
Mm.
So
cool.
yeah, it's gonna jump. It's gonna be, and the thing is, I didn't do this on purpose, and it's not even Quentin Tarantino, it's Robert Rodriguez, but there's this almost dusk till dawn feeling to it by accident, like where you have this whole story, and then the supernatural being is at the end, like all of a sudden, like whoa, and that's why I was like, why not go for manga? Why not go for really big bad guy-esque stuff? So yeah,
It's the
It
ball.
was
he's
this.
what? Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Damn it, Todd.
Oh, I
Damn
can
you.
see it. That's pretty good, buddy.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. That was
yeah,
enough.
thank you.
That was more than
Andrew
enough.
is my new favorite person. Jesus Christ.
Too bad I can't stop it from going out on the stream now. Damn, another stream. I've got a private. God damn it. Thank you, Todd.
You are so welcome.
All right, everybody. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'll talk to y'all later. Goodbye.
Later.
Bye.
Later.
To answer your question, Ahmed, yes, I've seen Tiger King. Bye.